Hello everyone, a warm welcome to today's session. I'm excited to introduce you to our first slide, which covers the first year BSc Nursing Applied Anatomy syllabus from KUHS. Today, we'll be focusing on the renal system, an essential part of our body's anatomy. Over the course of this presentation, we'll explore the structure and function of the kidneys and related organs, and understand their vital role in maintaining overall health. Let's get started and dive into the fascinating world of the renal system. Let's take a closer look at the structure of the kidney. The kidney is a bean-shaped organ, and what's interesting is that it's located in the retroperitoneal space, meaning it sits behind the abdominal cavity. This shape helps it fit snugly in that area and perform its vital functions efficiently. The kidney isn't just a simple bean, though. It's made up of several key parts: the cortex, which is the outer layer, the medulla, the inner region, and then there are the pyramids, calyces, and the pelvis, which work together to collect and funnel urine. When we think about how the kidney actually works, the core functional unit is called the nephron. Each nephron includes a glomerulus, which is a tiny network of capillaries where blood filtration begins, and a tubule, where the filtrate is processed further. Understanding this structure is fundamental because it directly relates to how the kidney filters blood, regulates fluid and electrolyte balance, and ultimately produces urine. All these parts work together seamlessly to keep our body's internal environment stable. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. The ureters are muscular tubes that connect the kidneys to the bladder, serving as essential pathways for urine to travel. These tubes are approximately 25 to 30 centimeters long, which allows them to comfortably reach from the kidneys down to the bladder. One of the most interesting features of the ureters is their ability to perform peristaltic movements. This means they contract rhythmically, much like a wave, to propel urine downward efficiently. Understanding the structure and function of the ureters helps us see how the body maintains proper urine flow and prevents backflow, which is crucial for overall urinary health. This connection between the kidneys and bladder is a vital part of the urinary system's function in waste removal and fluid balance. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. All right, let's talk about the structure of the urinary bladder. First off, it's a hollow, muscular sac that stores urine until we're ready to eliminate it. This sac isn't just a simple bag. It has 4 distinct layers that work together to allow it to function properly. These layers are the mucosa, which lines the inside, the submucosa, providing support, the muscular layer, known as the detrusor muscle, which contracts to expel urine, and the outer serosa, which covers the outside. An important feature of the bladder's design is the presence of sphincters. These are circular muscles that control the release of urine, ensuring we only urinate when it's appropriate. Understanding this layered structure and the sphincters helps us appreciate how the bladder can efficiently store and release urine, which ties into the overall theme of how our body maintains homeostasis and proper waste elimination. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. The urethra is essentially the tube that carries urine from the bladder to the outside of the body. Its length actually varies quite a bit between males and females. In males, it's about 20 centimeters long, which is quite a bit longer than in females, where it's around 4 centimeters. This difference is important because it influences how urine flows and also has implications for things like infections. Now, controlling the flow of urine through the urethra is managed by 2 key structures called the internal and external urethral sphincters. The internal sphincter is involuntary, meaning it automatically regulates urine release, while the external sphincter is voluntary, allowing us to control when we urinate. Understanding the structure of the urethra and how these sphincters work together helps us see how the body maintains control over urine storage and release, which is a crucial part of the overall urinary system's function. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. Understanding renal anatomy is fundamental for effective catheterization, because knowing the precise location and structure of the kidneys and urinary tract helps us perform procedures safely and accurately. Monitoring urinary output is also a key indicator of how well the kidneys are functioning. It gives us real-time clues about the patient's fluid balance and overall kidney health. Recognizing signs of urinary tract infections, or UTIs, is crucial too, because early detection allows for prompt treatment and prevents complications. During dialysis, careful care and management of fluid balance are essential to avoid issues like fluid overload or dehydration. All of these points tie back to our overall goal in nursing, providing comprehensive, attentive care that supports kidney health and patient safety.